All right, y'all, welcome to Big Bink's Break Room Podcast. This is the second live taping when we had a studio audience.
Yeah, we got a studio audience. We got food.
Y'all ain't gonna make no noise. What's wrong with y'all? Man!
We didn't pay them enough.
They're trying to eat their food.
Oh, we be having food and all that stuff too. I forgot.
Yeah, we got free
They're
food. It's a free food
enjoying
and free
their
drinks.
Branson. They're enjoying that. Well, we haven't popped the bottles of the yeah.
How you say it properly? How you say it?
Branson.
No,
right.
that's the champagne.
Oh,
Le Chim de War?
Le Chim de When Kayotik get up here, he's gonna
he'll
tell
definitely
us.
get that right.
Chaotic
Just say bubbly.
is responsible for all of this.
We definitely want to big up the whole G Unit.
Shout out.
Yeah,
Powerhouse.
thank you so much.
50 Cent.
Thanks, 50.
DJ Kayotik for looking out for our podcast. We sure appreciate it, though.
We sure do.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, though, Mills.
Of course, Versus is back.
Yes.
Versus is back. I don't know why they brought this one back. I don't know about this one, but it was Tyrese versus Tank.
Come on, man.
Like the same person.
It was for the love of R&B.
Hold on, let me get a temperature in the room. Tyrese to Tank. So who was, but round of applause, who was down for Tyrese that was going to win? Anybody?
Damn.
Oh.
Damn.
All right, Tank. If you thought Tank was going to win.
Damn.
Okay.
I think it was the battle of the talkers.
Yes.
Because if you go see them in concert,
Yes.
Tyrese ticked me off in 2014, I think it was, when I went to see him.
Damn.
In San Antonio
I was there.
at the Lovers, whatever.
I was there.
And I was so excited. I was like, oh, Tyrese. And he came out there and talked the whole time about being heartbroken. I said, boy, if you don't sing these songs.
And I remember we was at the Tank show.
Oh,
we had
we're
the
not
Tank,
going to even talk about
when
it.
we had the Tank incident, should I say. Well, me and
I
Shani
don't
had the
think
Tank incident.
They don't know about
You had an incident with Tank?
We had an
Tank
incident.
got into it bad.
We had a Tank
it almost
incident
came
there.
to blows.
But it was the same thing.
Really?
I'll let Jay
You want to hear the Tank story?
Tank, I ain't know about this one, bro. This is all new to me, but go ahead. Tell me what happened.
So at the time, I was programming.
Oh.
This one I was at, I'm not going to say the station. But I had multiple stations. And so I went to Central
Harker Heights.
Texas to Harker Heights because Tank had a show there. And then he was pushing, I can't remember what song he was pushing. But the song that he was pushing, I was doing my part. You know what I mean.
Playing it.
Yeah, I was doing my. I was playing it, but I was doing my part. He was going up the charts, so I was doing my part. So he was supposed to do this interview with us because I was on the station in Central Texas too, and he tried to play me. He tried to play me and get out the interview and said something like, well, y'all don't be playing my music, and that was the wrong thing for him to say to me. I was like.
He said that to you. What y'all having a meeting or?
No, he was backstage.
Oh, okay. At the show?
Yeah.
Y'all having this conversation at the show? The hell? All right, but go ahead.
I done came all the way down here to do this, and I'm taking care of you. I'm making sure you straight, and you gonna try to back out on me?
All right. Nah, that ain't the whole story. Now, let me tell y'all the real story. Let me tell you the real story. All right. So we get to the show. Tank is on stage saying all this crap about, I'm trying to get, and again, same thing with Tyrese. He will spend 20 to 30 minutes running his damn mouth in the concert instead of singing. He gets off the stage, and after he gets done complaining about radio ain't playing my songs, so he
said that.
Right, basically.
Okay. Now
he said it to me in my face, too, because we was like this. Let him tell the story. No, he got bad.
So we get backstage, and we were told that we're going to have this interview with Tank. We get there, and the security guard stops us as we're approaching Tank and says he ain't doing the interview. Shani blacks out. And when I mean blackout, I mean she didn't. There's this big, gigantic security guard standing in front of us, and Shani don't see him. Shani just walks past him and says, look, and puts her finger right there and say, look, I play your records, and she's just going in. And I'm just standing there like, if this security guard grabs Shani, I'm getting my ass whooped tonight, B, because I'm skinny as hell. This security guard got veins popping out of his wrist. And I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get my ass whooped because I'm at the swing for my sis.
Damn.
And but then he saw Shani. When Shani did like that and went, look, He moved out the way.
Good for him.
He moved out the way. And Tank came towards Shani, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He got on his knees and begged for Shani's forgiveness that night.
That's where Please Don't Go came from?
I don't know.
All I know is I was impressed by the whole thing.
That is the rumor.
I mean, he invited us to every concert after that. Like,
Give it up for Shani for going hard with that. Man!
That's that 75232. That's what that is.
As far as the talking part, the verses was not disappointing.
Because I didn't see it. You saw it, though.
Yeah, I saw it. And that's all they basically did do was talk.
Wow.
They went back and forth, did a lot of talking back and forth. But musically, when they did get into the music, man, Tank shut it down. I mean, just vocally, just the whole vibe. Even Tyrese had to acknowledge in the verses, like, dude, you got more hits than I got. But
he brought out a lot of people, though. Tank did. That's what I heard.
Oh, yeah, Tank was
Yeah, see, that's cheating, man.
Well, no, because he's collaborative in all those songs. That's part of verses.
Still, man, it's going to be A versus B, not A versus A, B, C, D, and E and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's part of verses. So, I mean,
okay.
But that was actually a good part for me as watching it, because it broke up all the talking and stuff like that. And then, because you would see Tank bringing out all these stuff, and then Tyrese would get mad because Tank would be bringing out all these stars.
Yeah, I'd be mad
like
too.
That. But it was dope, man, because he brought out Jamie Foxx.
And he wrote all that stuff. People forget, like, he wrote all the Leah
well,
stuff.
that's legal. That's legal in verses.
Yeah,
you can bring out. You can use songs that you wrote.
Yeah, he wrote all a bunch of
Because
stuff.
I remember Keith Sweat got out there and washed. Who he went up against with Keith Sweat? I forgot who that was, but Keith Sweat washed.
Keith Sweat went up against somebody?
Yeah, I forgot who it was though. But
anybody know in the audience? Keith Sweat? Anybody?
But I remember
Must not been that good.
Keith was using a whole lot of his songs that he wrote.
Right.
Because everybody forget he wrote "I Just Got Paid" by Johnny Kemp. A lot of people forget that stuff. Did Tank say anything about taste testing dicks out there?
Huh?
What? Whoa.
Jay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Thank y'all for tuning in this week. We're gonna go now.
No, your man said that. Your man said ain't nothing wrong with a straight heterosexual man doing that.
I know you ain't talking what you just said.
But he did say that. I didn't say nothing like that. Now, I ain't cussed on the podcast.
I didn't cuss either.
Yeah. I didn't cuss. Like that.
Did he say that or not?
He did say that.
I'm just saying, listen.
Did he say that or not?
Yes, he said
I'm
it.
I'm on the team, and if you're going to call an audible like that, you got to let the players know.
I just find out. I just finding out.
So all right. So let's just move on. So who haven't we seen do a versus that we would like to see?
It's over, man.
I'll start with action. Who you want to see?
Still out there that I haven't seen do a versus that I would probably love to see. Well, see, again, if you were thinking that realm, I mean, it's kind of difficult because first I want to think RIP people. You know, people that are gone first because those are great artists.
I'm talking about people that's here though.
Yeah, but then the people that are here, I would think they would probably never do it.
Yeah, I think it's over for verses.
But who are the people you would want to see?
Okay, so say for example, like I would love to see Hov do a verse against anybody.
Who?
Anybody. Because you would have to think.
Nas?
Well, you would have to think that the artists that would have to come against Hov would have to have that kind of catalog.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So whoever it would be, it would be a good verse.
Closest person I could think would be LL, just off top.
Yeah, LL would
You know
be. That would be a great one.
Yeah, Hov and L. What you got, Mills?
I think it's over, but for starters, I was disappointed, and I'm from New Orleans, so I was disappointed in the Cash Money No Limit situation. I was disappointed in that. That just went wrong. I had to put Wayne versus somebody, but who is unknown. I would say you had to put Wayne up against somebody that has a mixtape type catalog as well as a label hit record, I guess, catalog.
I would say Wayne. I would say Wayne and
But
T.I.
who?
Yeah, so I was thinking T.I.
Wayne and T.I.
Wayne and T.I.
Well, we tried to get what T.I. and 50. We see how that went.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah. I want to see.
We'll get some insight on that later.
It ain't too many people that can hold Chris Brown, but if we had to, I would like to see Chris Brown and Drake.
Chris Brown and Drake.
Absolutely.
Chris Brown and Usher.
It'd be had to be.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, Chris Brown and
I
Usher
like
would
Chris
go.
Brown.
I want to see Chris Brown and Drake.
No,
But I respect Chris Brown and Usher. That's a great one.
I would
respect that.
say the only reason why Chris Brown and Drake wouldn't work for me is because Drake is more of a rhymer and Chris Brown is more R&B. So again, that comparative on the song level, because you'd have Drake. I think more of his hits are hip hop hits.
Nah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Drake, Kanye.
Nah, Drake singing.
Drake
singing.
Yeah. Kanye and Drake would be a good one.
Kanye West versus Drake.
Yeah, because in that way you can go back because they both got a little R&B and a little hip hop.
There you go.
Because Chris Brown is. I mean, what he gonna rhyme with? He got maybe.
He got to rhyme. All he got to do is it's
But
about
yeah,
playing your
but-
hits, singing your hits.
Again, the balance of
rap.
music wouldn't be there for me.
with you, man.
Yeah, the
All
balance
right,
of
that's
music.
what's up. What you got,
The
Shani?
balance of
Oh,
music wouldn't be there.
the verses I want to see that I'm not going to get to see
Okay.
is Bink and Kayotik.
Chaotic is our special guest, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's a great segue.
That's the verses I want to see.
Coming up next, man, it's different when you have people on the show, and it's different when it's somebody you know. Like, we all know this guy.
Yes.
Like, from the beginning, like, when we was all in our prospective roles trying to come up in the city of Dallas, Texas, moving from, different places to come here to sow them seeds, not sow. How you say it? Sow seeds?
Sow.
To sow them seeds to take us somewhere that we never knew where we'll end up. But this dude is a father, a friend, a former co-worker. Always gonna be a co-worker though.
Kinda.
At our radio station, door wide open anytime you want to come. He
Yeah.
probably go on any radio station in America though now.
Maybe on
Yeah.
payroll now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why
But
he
he's
ain't
a-
getting no raises.
He's Shut up, Michael. Cut the camera off like right here.
That's why we didn't get no
He's an
raises.
author, and we're gonna talk about. You see it right here. He got a new book. It had to happen. What's a man without his legacy? DJ Kayotik will be here one time. Man.
Dang.
There it is. No, it's
In the house.
the voice of the G Unit.
Let's hear his voice.
DJ Chaotic. Right here. What's up, boy?
What's good, family?
Welcome back, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God. I don't even know where to start. Because I remember we was on Reunion Radio a couple of weeks ago, and we was just kind of talking about how we started, and it wasn't DJ Chaotic.
No.
Action, it was Mr. Hypnotic. You remember that?
Back in the day.
Come on, man. Milk bar, all that stuff back in the day.
yeah.
When he remember he had his truck wrapped?
Yeah.
Remember that?
And then through the circumstances,
Through the legal circumstances, we had to get a cease and desist and change the name. So, it's a good thing, though, because Chaotic is more fitting for me.
It
so,
is.
Yeah, it's a good look.
It
so, yeah.
is.
No more Incredible Hulks, though.
No.
We're strictly Branson, Cognac, and Le Chemin du Roi.
Oh,
Le
Le
Chemin.
Chemin.
Yes.
Le Chemin du Roi.
The King's Path, but it's Le Chemin du Roi.
Yeah, we definitely got to shout out Chaotic, because Chaotic was very instrumental on helping us secure the sponsorship for the podcast, courtesy of Branson Cognac, man. So we got to thank him for that. And we appreciate you, 250. We appreciate it, bro. Just put me in one of them movies, man. I just thought about that. So it's happening in Louisiana. He bought a bunch of land, a bunch of acres, and
Yes, he has a studio.
So talk about
the
that.
old Millennium Studios. He took over. He has a bunch of property in Shreveport as well. All roads lead to Shreveport. I know you've been seeing the hashtag. It's been going crazy for like a year and a half now. And he's building up the studio now. All the projects, all the movies, everything he has coming down the pipeline will be shot in Shreveport. So think, the easiest way I can sum it up is the same thing that Tyler Perry did in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's going to happen in Shreveport with 50 Cent
Wow.
and G Unit
Dope.
TV and film. So
I'm just thinking about all the jobs that's going to be created.
a lot of jobs. That's why Amazon is down there now. You got a lot of jobs. A lot of offices and buildings are coming down there now because the Shreveport that you see now, today, in 10 years from now, will look totally different.
Wow.
From casinos to the new hotels that the plans. The downtown area itself is going to change. The dynamic of it is going to change. It's going to be gentrified. and he's on the forefront of it. So, of course, the studio is the first thing up and running. So we're bringing a lot of jobs for people in Shreveport. He's hiring within the city, and then ultimately we'll build it out. So it's exciting.
It's safe to say that we're gonna see Kayotik in some movies or some soundtracks or something, right?
Well, you know, I mean, if there's a role for me, hopefully my brother will put me in there.
You got the perfect smile. Look at the smile. They're like perfect.
You know, I didn't go to acting school yet, but I just might. You know, hey, I got to add certain things to the resume. So, but it's a blessing. It's not just for myself, but people in Shreveport, the city of Shreveport. And he's doing a lot of incredible things. So it's exciting. It's exciting. All roads lead to Shreveport. You know, it's only 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah.
You know, that I-20 is gonna be hot.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be hot.
And not that you know the reason why, but why? I mean, why Shreveport? Yeah.
Tax
Tax
break.
Tax break. Okay.
You know, everybody knows 50's a very smart man.
Very.
And it's easier to shoot in a Shreveport, Louisiana versus in New York City for tax purposes. So ultimately, he can get the best bang for his buck. It brings more jobs to the community, you know, more importantly, and obviously he can create the atmosphere to make it feel like a New York. You can shoot power anywhere if you have the right studio and everything set up.
Exactly.
So, and then again, you know, there may be a new series created based out of Shreveport. You just never know.
Right.
Man, you know, the opportunity presents itself. So, like I said, all roads lead to Shreveport. It's exciting. I hope I got a job. You know,
Well, you do have a job, and that's good about 50 Cent, but he ain't here. Maybe we can set that up and he comes sit at the table.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about you.
Okay.
Okay, so you're a tour DJ for 50 Cent. Kayotik's been on different radio stations. And you still go out and do other little DJ gigs.
We were just together this week. We just did the Day 26 experience. Me and Kayotik just did that.
So what else does Kayotik want to do?
I mean, Kayotik right now is focused on being an author. You know, that's been the primary thing. Aside from obviously 50 Cent is the first priority when it comes down to it. I'm not just a tour DJ, I'm his full-time DJ. So he keeps me pretty busy, as you can imagine. Aside from that, I'm focusing on being an author, my philanthropy work, and building my foundation. So me giving back to the community, whether it be Dallas, whether it be Shreveport, whether it be Houston, wherever I'm making an impact, is my core focus. So as long as I can give back to my community, impact people, and the book is kind of just the platform now that I'm utilizing to just talk to the people and share my story, share my testimony, and share my experience, and let people know, you know, whatever you go through in life, whatever things that you've been struggling with, the highs and lows, you're looking at somebody that's a walking testimony of not so much success, but impact.
So when you say you're his official DJ, so tour, if you got a tour, you're gonna do that outside. Well, so when he does parties.
So how, you know, in 2023, 50 Cent brought me on board for the Final Lap tour. At that point in time, I was only on board to be his tour DJ. There was no future in regards to what I was doing. I was actually going to come back to the radio station. And Bink can attest to this story.
I got a story for y'all about this. I'm going to tell this story. Not now, though. Go ahead.
I was on a furlough. I came back, and, you know, by the grace of God, Bink and the higher-ups left my position for me. So when I was done with tour, I had a conversation with Curtis and said, hey, you know, I know there's nothing's promised, but if it's an opportunity for me or if it's something that you need, I'm here for you. Right now, I'm on the fence of what I want to do. You know, I've been in radio for 15 years. So I wanted to spread my wings and do something different and step out on faith. So that faith approach led me to a conversation with Bink on a Friday.
Yeah.
And I sat down with him and said, brother, I'm a leader. And he was like, you serious? And I said, yeah. You know, with no rhyme or reason, no understanding, just pure faith of saying, I'm just going to go out and step out on faith and trust God on what's for me is going to be for me. And didn't know what Fifth was going to do, didn't know. My wife would tell you this, we didn't even know we was going to have health insurance, none of that. The next day, we were looking for Obamacare. And me being a military veteran, you know, that Monday, I got confirmation that my wife and kids was going to be covered. That was the first blessing within itself. A week later, I get the call from 50, let's keep it moving. Okay. That was 2023, we haven't stopped ever since. So it went from being tour DJ to I'm his DJ. And now the voice of the unit.
Yeah, because, you know, y'all got a show coming up in Vegas. Like, me and Mac was trying to get to the one a couple of weeks ago, but I was like, Mac, we not going to make it. But we going to have to, you know, follow you one time, get behind the scenes footage of you doing your thing. We wanted to incorporate it here, but we didn't have time.
The man doesn't slow down. So, you know,
we want to follow you.
Okay, yeah, come on.
We trying to represent Kayotik.
Say no more, come on.
And you said two things that stood out that I didn't know. I didn't know you was a veteran. And
go Navy.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And you said something else that stuck out to me. You said you stepped out on faith.
Yeah.
I just want to give it up for that one. It's 2 times. You know what I'm saying? That's taking an opportunity. You say you got a family that you got to make sure you're taking care of, and you just like, hey, let me tell you about this story when he came. We had that conversation on that Friday. Look, he had went out on tour and everything, and he told the nice happy story. He was like, look, man, love you, Bink, but I ain't coming back, dog. I'm gonna really stand out, and hopefully this works out on this side. And I was like, yeah, let's go, man. I hope it work out.
Yeah.
But it worked out time 10. Cause now I need Kayotik to hire me.
That part. We all need you to hire us.
Woo!
And the part of the story that stuck out to me, and I want you to explain to the young DJs out there and just the people coming up. The part that stuck out to me is that you still do the clubs, you still do community work, and you know the level that you at, and you don't have to. And this is a testament to Stephen Curry and his wife that was on the podcast. She said he still gets up every morning and practices, and he doesn't have to. That's what makes him great. This is what makes you great, Kayotik.
Humble beginnings.
So, humble beginnings. So explain that to these people out here listening. What makes you still say, like, I could leave all that, I don't have to do that, but I still do, and I still feel like I should.
I talk about it in great detail in the book of just everything I've gone through. If you've seen all the dark things that I've dealt with in life, you understand my journey has not been the easiest one. So people see the glitz and the glam and the lights and all that stuff now, but Kareem Thompson, before I even became a DJ Kayotik, went through a lot. So you never forget where you come from. And it's important for me to always give back. It's important for me to feed my community. It's important for me to reflect and look in that mirror every day. So I can never get to a point where it's like, that's beneath me. Nothing's beneath me because I've been in the bottom.
Right.
You know, you never forget that. I know how it feels not to have the cereal and no milk, the peanut butter and no jelly. you don't forget that. And the thing is, people, no murder. When you operate in faith, you walk in your purpose. As quick as you can get it, as quick as you can lose it.
Yeah.
So you have to be constant. Every day I wake up every morning, and I thank God for waking me up. And I thank Him for the opportunity to be better than what I was yesterday. But I never forget who that kid was that didn't have it. Who that kid that wasn't on stage. Who that kid was that didn't have the microphone to crack the mic and talk to a radio station. I remember that kid. And I remember that adult. I was homeless twice, as a child and as an adult. So I've experienced it in different phases of my life. So when you have those bumps and bruises in life and trials and tribulations, you appreciate every moment, every opportunity, every face, every hand, every thank you, every applause, every hater. You appreciate it all.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because there's a lot of talk on this interview earlier this week about Jay-Z and how the DJ has sort of been pushed to the back of the culture for the most part. But for the DJs that's out there, because that's been a growing conversation about the DJ and the rapper and how the two need to become a unit once again. How did you and 50 connect, and how did your journey with him begin?
Well, 50 and I are childhood friends, so I've been knowing Curtis Boo Boo Jackson since age 10.
Okay.
But again, it's one of those things where he and I, obviously, we're on two different paths. In 2018, actually, I was doing the morning show here in Dallas. I went to Chicago for a boot camp. He was shooting Power.
Okay.
That's when we reunited and met up, and I just gave him his flowers. I said to him, from where we come from, I'm just proud of you. And he asked what I was doing. I said, I'm a DJ now, radio personality. He's like, you a DJ? I was like, yeah. Full circle moment. That was 2018. 2019, I get the call to join forces with him to represent Sire Spirits. It's cognac and champagne.
Right.
And that's a funny story, but it's in the book. But at that point in time, his people reached out to me, set up a meeting, and short form of the story is, his people said, I need you to meet 50 Cent. And I'm like, I know 50. No, we need you to meet so he can bring you aboard. I'm like, when he sees me, he's not going to say Kayotik. He's not going to say Mr. Hypnotic. Yeah. He's going to say Kareem Thompson from Southside. So they bring me up to his hotel room. He opens up the door. His manager, Renee, says, DJ Kayotik, 50 Cent, DJ Kayotik. He was like, what? That's Kareem Thompson from Southside. So from that day on, I became a brand ambassador for Sire Spirits. Fast forward, that was 2019. 2023, I get the phone call. He had some qualms going on with his previous DJ, but the DJ after Who Kid. And I'll go back to your original question.
Yeah.
And there was my opportunity. You never know what blessings ahead of you. I had to be prepared for my blessing. I tell people all the time, if he would have reached out 10 years prior with everything I was going through, losing my son, just the journey I was on of depression, suicidal ideologies, everything I was dealing with, even just my mental and spiritual, I wouldn't have been ready for that platform. When he reached out for me, he brought me out of a dark space, but I was prepared for the blessing. Now, going back to the DJ synergy, to this day, people still think, who kid is this DJ?
Right.
You know, so it's for me. It's important for me. You know, obviously we have our chemistry. Obviously, I'm around all over the world with the guy, but I still walk around thinking people don't know who DJ Kayotik is. So it's my job to let people know who I am in every aspect. You know, yeah, I'm his DJ. I'm on tour, but I'm also an author. I'm a husband. I'm a father. You know, so when they get to see me, they get to see this faith-driven person. That, you know, people call me the voice of the unit. They could also call me like the pastor of G Unit, because I'm the spiritual component. As 50 would say, and we've had conversations about this, I'm the light, and I carry that torch proudly.
No doubt.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, when we first got off the tour, and I'll share this story, I did an interview that he didn't like, because I dibbled and dabbled into the Diddy situation before the documentary. And the next time we saw each other, he came to me, he said, "What you doing?" I said, "What you mean?" He said, "I didn't like that interview." I said, "Why not?" He said, "That's not you." He said, "When I go to your page, I like to see you talking about God. I like to see he's like, you're the light. He's like, be that. He's like, don't be me. Don't be Yayo. Be you." He's like, "That's why I brought you here." And that gave me the confirmation of continuing to be
Who you
me.
are. Right.
Yeah.
Genuine, unique me. Be Kareem Thompson, be DJ Chaotic, but me. Stay in my lane.
Yeah.
So
Because a lot of people will get caught up in that
You can easily
that
get
light
caught up.
and lose your purpose.
you can definitely get caught up. But again, I had to be prepared for it. You know, the blessing I'm sitting in right now, I had to be prepared for it. Just give God all the glory and prepare for the next day.
No doubt. Make some noise for that, man.
Yeah.
Make some noise for that.
We gotta talk about the book, man. You just said some things that just, you know, I mean, we talk all the time, but just every time I hear you say it, man, it just kind of blows me away. From being a father, losing your son, going through the mental anguish, going through the pain, going through the patience, putting it all on paper, and being comfortable talking about it in a book form. At what point, after you lost your son, at what point, from that point to when you wrote the book, where was that middle ground? You was like, I got to put this to paper so I can help people. Because last time we was on the radio together, you was like, I mean, selling books is cool, but I'm trying to help somebody.
Yeah.
And that resonated with me as a father.
Yeah. You know, I'm approaching the 11-year anniversary of losing my son. And after the first couple of years of just trying to maneuver through grief and depression, something kept telling me I need to write a book, share my story. It took me until approaching the 10th year when something just festered in my stomach. And at that moment, you know, I was grounded with you know, my wife has tell people this all the time. I used to hate the beach. I'm a New Yorker, so I'm from Southside. I'm the kid that wore Timberlands to the beach all day long. So, you know, and one day we was in South Carolina at Myrtle Beach, and I went for a jog, and my wife had been telling me, you need to get grounded with the earth. So this particular day, I decided to take my shoes off and put my feet in the sand. And in that moment, it's like God took over my entire body. It's like I surrendered right then and there on that beach. And between the element of the water and dealing with that facet of just knowing I lost my son to a drowning accident to just grounding, the tears started flowing. At that moment, I started voice recording the book. And that was July. From July to January is when I started penning the book. And for me, I think it was just the point of understanding I needed to be vulnerable. I needed to be transparent. And my story and my testimony wasn't about me anymore. I was on an assignment. My assignment was not to sell books, to save lives.
Yeah.
I knew my story in those 15 chapters would have an impact for somebody in this world, whether it been a young kid to an adult to a grandparent to a
Yeah.
parent that's lost a child. There's so many different elements within the book that touches on so many different topics that I knew I needed to share the story. And you know, it's one of those things when you're walking testimony, you're walking your purpose, and you know you're on assignment. It's just like I just knew I had to put it out there. And since I put it out in the atmosphere, it's the most gratifying feeling. People coming up saying, "You helped me. I can't believe this." You know, they look at me, it's like, "I can't believe you going through that."
Yeah.
And then they say, "Your strength." And it's like, no, it's not my strength. It's what he put in me. It's what he's instilled in me.
So I actually read the book, and I agree with you that the book can help many different people at different levels of parenthood and or even being a child, but even being in a relationship, being with somebody that has kids where you have to have this blended family.
Yeah.
Because there is a part in the book that made me look at the book and almost throw it on the ground, where you reveal that once you lost your son, your wife became his mom became the godparents of your
my two daughters.
children. Yeah, of your two daughters.
Yes.
With your wife.
You know, through God's will, He'll make the impossible possible. And my son's mother, Nikita, Dante was her only child. You know, and by the grace of God and by having a strong woman by my side, she allowed that you know, God formed it and she allowed it. You know, and it's one of those things where, you know, it's unheard of. You know, we've done vacations together. We've done a true blended family. And the fact of the matter is that I know those two little girls that I have are probably saving her life. You know, when you lose your only child, what do you have at that point? As a mother, what do you have?
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately she has two goddaughters that she loves, and we have a blended family, and it works for us. It raises eyebrows for many, but it works for us. And I never question what God puts in place. You know, so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that she's walking through her journey of grief, and we're able to just help each other through it all. And we're still grieving. We're still walking through it. You know, there's no expiration date on grieving. There's no expiration date on depression. You know, people see me now and they see this book and they think I'm just this guy with strength. No, I still have my days of just vulnerability, and I'll cry. But I'm in a comfortable space where I can tell men like myself, men like you, even a woman, it's okay to share your emotions. It's okay to express your emotions and put them out in the atmosphere. The challenge for me, or the assignment for me, was step out on faith and show people it's okay to not be okay, and let people know that I'm working through it. So for that parent that's lost a child, look at me. If you give up on hope, look at me and understand this is what hope looks like. This is what the light looks like in the darkest moments. For that child that's thinking about committing suicide, look at me, because if you read a chapter in my book, you'll see it. I had plenty of opportunities of why I wanted to commit suicide. And now this day and age, I recognize that this youth it's becoming a little too common. It's more of the trend to just take your life. So if I can show a young brown or black or brown child, or just any child, and that in the darkest moments that you're going through, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Look at me. I've been through it. There's not too much I ain't been through. When you read that book, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
It's damn.
It
And,
is.
you know, a lot of people say it's dark, but it sheds a lot of light, and it's just it maneuvers through so many different chapters of just my life, my journey, my testimony, and my faith. Even when I didn't know I had faith, even when I didn't know how connected to God I was, He was covering me the entire time through the ups and downs, the highs and the lows. So,
Yeah, and me personally, I wouldn't describe it as dark, because as a parent, like, people hear it and they think, oh, you know, this is for somebody that physically lost a child. Your kids can still be living, walking, talking, and you lose them. And that book kind of helped me through a situation and understanding what to do, how to move. And then the way you wrote it, the way it goes back and forth from this time period to this time period, it really connects the dots of the things that you experienced as a kid and what kind of man that produced. But before we get that far, we got to give it up for your wife one time.
Give it up for Miss
Yes, because she is really the backbone of your family, and to be able to say, hey, I'm gonna share my kids with you because you like, that's huge,
you know,
and a big lesson that I don't think you know that you're really teaching.
One of the things that you know, as I was writing the book, and she was involved in every chapter from start to finish. I didn't want to create this book in a silo, then say, here it is. I wanted to make sure she was involved from start to finish. It was important for me to be as transparent with her before the world saw it.
Yeah.
And one of the things, as I was writing the book and just unpacking, I realized, you know, the reason why I love my wife the way I do and always have loved her the way I do is because she knew me when I was a broken child. She loved me as a broken child. She loved me as the broken man. So as I'm becoming the healed man, or the stronger version of myself, that love hasn't changed, it hasn't wavered. So I have to applaud her and salute her because it's hard for a woman to love a broken man. You know, and I want that's part of the book, showing, you know, women that are dealing with a broken person may have to figure out how to ways to create a safe space, and vice versa.
Yep.
You know, it goes both ways. A man might have a broken woman. You have to be able to identify that and figure out how to create a safe space to be able to allow that person to unpack what's going on within them. For me, that mirror in front of me and how the book is written is the reflection of everything I went through. So it starts off with me losing my son, and then we're in the car, and my queen is driving the entire time, and I'm reflecting back on my childhood and all the things that broke me. Everything that broke me. It had to happen. What's a man without a legacy?
And if you want to get a copy of the book, all you got to do is go to MediaRoom360.com and click on Kayotik's book, and you'll get it. And real quick, everybody in the studio audience here today will get a copy of the book.
Yeah.
Give it up one time! So how do people follow you, man? We want to make sure that people obviously get the book. You know, MediaRoom360.com is right there. Like when you click on it, we got like it in the book club, right?
Yes, in the book.
Yes, in the book club.
Thank
So
y'all.
just make sure y'all click that, get it today. Send us an email, say you got it, so we can shout you out on the next show. But how do people follow you, man?
All social media at DJ Kayotik, DJ Kayotik, Kayotik.
He just because people can't spell.
Yeah,
Can you spell
DJ
it?
Kayotik, and Kayotik is an acronym for my nonprofit organization. So, you know, as we talked about the name change and everything else, all that is documented in the book as well. My mother helped me come up with the name Kayotik,
which
is an acronym, and it's Kareem's Alternative Youth Options to Improve Kids. So when people think about Kayotik,
Oh, wow,
they
that's-
think about me causing chaos in the club. No, there's a method behind the madness.
Yeah.
So the name, like I said, that's why the name stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate you hopping up on Big Bink's Break Room Podcast. We appreciate the sponsorship.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you as my brother.
Yes.
I appreciate
Yes.
you for just being you. And let's give it up for DJ Kayotik one time. My friend.
Get the book.
And he's a great follow too, because if you follow him, you'll catch him with his pastor. Is that your pastor sometimes you're talking to?
Ricky Rush?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
My pastor.
'Cause, yeah, so
Well,
because I don't know if he's
Pastor Ricky Rush from IBOC, Inspired
Yeah.
Body of Christ. That's my pastor.
because
And
he'll be on it. They'll be having some great conversations.
believe it or not, the title "It Had to Happen." That the first part of the title came from him.
Okay.
You know, I lost my son real quick. I lost my son April 4th, 2015, which was a Saturday before Easter Sunday. And you know, on that Saturday, as I sat there and at the morgue and stood over his body and cried and did everything else and was just completely numb. The only thing I could do Sunday morning was my wife and my kids go to church. And that's when I completely surrendered everything. And my pastor told me, we're in a fight for your life. I'm going to be your corner man. And he shared with me then, he said, I'm going to say something to you that you're not going to understand right now, but you will later on. He said, Dante's job is done. He said, yours isn't. Your assignment begins now. God allows things to happen in your life to get you closer to him. It had to happen. So the first part of the title came from him. It had to, and it stuck with me. 10 years later, I didn't have to think about what's the title going to be. Those words stuck with me. It had to happen.
That's what I'm saying. If you follow I listen to those deep conversations
Yeah.
that you guys be having, and just to let you know, the flowers there, because I don't always chime in, you know, because
Thank you, my
I'll be listening to the conversation. I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
And so it's a great conversation. Just let them know.
I got one more question.
Sure.
So I know you just celebrated Dante's birthday.
Yes, and now I'm getting ready to celebrate the anniversary of his passing.
And it's so close.
Yes.
His birthday,
Yeah,
your
his
anniversary,
Yep.
and then
Yeah, you know,
his passing.
March and April are the toughest months for me. You know, have been the toughest months for me for the last 10 years because I have my daughter's birthday, I have Dante's birthday, I have my wedding anniversary, and then coming right after that is Dante's anniversary of his passing in the same month as my birthday. And then the following month is my other daughter's birthday. So it's like for 10 strong years, I didn't even want to celebrate anything, and my wife has watched me, my kids have watched me just grow into the space of just embracing it all. And like I said, I'm still operating in my grief journey, but nonetheless, I'm out of that depressive state, and going through therapy allowed me to figure out how to maneuver through it. You know, there's triggers that happen, they're gonna happen, but I have that utility belt now where I can go to it and get myself out of that funk and out of that slump. Because when you get into that dark space, you need help. So for those out there that are challenged with anything you're going through, I'm an advocate of therapy. Mm-hmm. I'm an advocate.
Outside of therapy, what are some things that you like? Can you give us 3 things that you do to help you during that time? To help you, keep your mind where it needs to be?
Exercising, the gym, running was one of the things where I just blocked out the noise. Obviously, heavy in prayer. Just operating in a space where I'm just meditating and praying and just giving it to Him and surrendering every day. Just reconnecting, with myself, with my wife, with my kids, and that was a challenge. But I had to figure out a way to reconnect because I'm resilient. God built me to be resilient, and no matter how bad I wanted to give up, moments that I wanted to give up, and I saw it, I visualized it, I planned it. I couldn't leave my wife and my kids or my mom, my superhero, like that. So I had to find that will to win, that will to fight, that fight in me that He instilled in me that I didn't even know I had in me to just keep going and keep trusting. And I relied on my faith. That it's my faith. People ask me how am I still standing? My faith. So for the believers and non-believers, you're looking at somebody that's a walking testimony of what God can do, make the impossible possible. I've gone through it. I've been in the mud, and I'm still standing. So,
give it up for that.
The book is called "It Had to Happen." What's a man without his legacy? Authored by DJ Kayotik. Man, go to Media Room 360. Get the book today. Help somebody, help somebody, help somebody.
Oh, and the forward by 50 Cent. I gotta shout out my brother because he did me a favor that he's never done for anybody. He wrote the forward for me in the book, so I'm forever grateful for that.
No doubt.
Okay, well I got 150 cent question. I shut it down. I got 50. So can you hook us up?
No what?
So we can have the exclusive with 50. Who over there shaking their head?
Listen.
Hey, don't look at me, man. I didn't shake my head.
He has a highly qualified publicist that handles all his interviews and media and stuff like that. I have nothing to do with 50 Cent in regards to appearances. I'm just a mere employee.
You're a DJ.
When you ask a question like that, I say it's above my pay grade.
Yeah. That is. DJ.
Maybe you can answer this one. I'm just trying to get on the pay grade. Louisiana's close.
Listen, I will say this. When everything is rocking and rolling, obviously, as you said earlier in the podcast, we are a forever family. I talk about it in the book. I know you. I don't know if you read the book or not, but you're in the book a lot.
Yeah.
I talk about how I call this man's phone every day, trying to get a on-air position at the radio station relentlessly, until he gave me an opportunity. And I'm forever grateful for that. So when Fifth has everything up and rolling, trust me, you got the exclusive information. I'm gonna say, yo, go to the website.
Man.
These are the jobs. go and apply. I'm going to slide
Yes, sir.
the resume up in there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing is, it's close proximity. So for all my folks in Dallas, I want everybody to embrace this opportunity. Shreveport is right up the street, and Fifth's mindset is the synergy between Dallas and Shreveport. He wants that. He knows is that because right now, who's flying to Shreveport like that? The airport can't handle all that.
That's
traffic.
right. That's
so
right.
you got to come through the DFW to get to Shreveport.
That's right.
So if you come through the DFW, you got to holler at Bink and
Man, hold up.
Come to the break room and come holler.
Yes, sir. Get the book.
Yeah.
Kayotik is here. We appreciate you, bro. Man, hold up.
So Kayotik, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now you a DJ, you know what I mean? You big on hip hop.
Yeah.
Whether it's Southern or whether it's, New York.
Yeah.
You played it, you spun records in Dallas, so
Yeah.
you big on hip hop.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we was talking about verses a little bit earlier. When it comes to these verses battles, I'm talking about record for record, fam. Let's talk hip hop, bro. You know what I mean? Record for record.
Yes.
50 Cent versus T.I. Who do you really got? Record for record, Kayotik.
Let me say this. I saw an interview that Mary J. Blige did, right?
Okay.
And they asked her, if there was a versus against you, who would it be? And her response to me was a queen response. She said she would put the 4-in-1 album down and just walk away. For my brother Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, he could put down his body of work and just walk away. There is no versus against Curtis.
Now, you say he can put down Get Rich or Die Trying and walk away, or
He could put Get Rich Die Trying. He got a body of work. Me, in my opinion, whether it be my artist, 50, whether it be a Chris Brown, whether it be, there's no verses. There is no song for song. you know, in reality, my brother can put that album down, just walk away. You know, that's just what it is. And there's no disrespect to the South or any artist from the South.
Yeah.
But
it's the Ethiopian
you know,
king of the South anyway.
You know, the thing is that, you know, his body of work speaks for itself. There is no verse.
See how we looking at each other?
Yeah. My brother can put he can put his music down and just walk away.
And you're right. He has a Diamond album that is a classic for sure, top 5, top 10 of all time. So I give you that.
Yeah.
I'll let you. I give you that.
Yeah. And I'll take a step further for the folks that want to bait him and get him back in the studio and stuff like that. Obviously, he's dropping new music. We got a brand new record out right now for the new Power Origins. Yeah. It's a phenomenal record.
Yeah.
And you know.
No, 50 do got records.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah.
All roads lead to Shreveport.
All roads.
He grew beyond that.
Get your thoughts on that, Kayotik, about battling as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody brought this up to me this week about how people don't want to battle no more because of the way social media has made things. Like back in the day, you could battle somebody and still survive and have a career after that. Now it's like, if you lose, that's it.
Well, you know, the thing is that the evolution of hip hop and the evolution of just our culture has changed, and social media plays a huge role in that.
Right.
When you think about battles and things back in the day, you think about Jay-Z and Nas and the Ethers and stuff like that. You know, at those moments, you had the fans that would pick a side, but they still ride for each artist. This day and age, we're so segregated in the music and in the culture. You know, it's like we have this mentality. If it's one or the other. You know, so you know when you look at the Drake and Kendrick situation, it's like one or the other. When the boys out tour, they're both phenomenal artists that make great music, and they'll continue to make great music. But you got these bots out here that just that claim one side or the next, and it causes a friction within the culture. We don't have these battles in rock and roll like that.
Right.
You know, so it's like, why do we do it in our culture, in our community? So I'm all for just good music, timeless records. If you're an artist and you have timeless music, celebrate the timeless music that you put out. Right. Point blank, period.
And a lot of these artists got about 2 records out anyway that's trying to beef with somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's like really at the end of the day, like beef and battles back in the day, you had a catalog and it was a different mindset. But these people that's beefing now, they got like 1 record out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Or they on the internet.
Well,
you know how the internet.
well,
you live for 3 months and that's
Well, that's
it.
the thing. It seems like now
Work at
you know, when
Kroger.
you battle somebody or you want to have a battle, it's no longer about the competition of it. It's like, if you lose, your career is over. We can't fool with you no more.
It's the cancel culture, and it's unfortunate because it doesn't negate what that person, that body of work they've out there. It's just like, you know, this culture now is they don't worry about what they did in the past. It's the right now.
Yep.
You know, so you know, again, like I'm grateful to have an artist like a 50 Cent that we're out here performing records that are 20 plus years old, and the audience receives them as if they just came out.
Right.
Timeless music is always going to live on, and that artist is going to live on. So, like you said, the ones that are coming out, 2 records. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.